exciting. It's exciting time because I have found a new home away from home, and it is called Hiawassee, Georgia. And let me introduce the should-be mayor of Hiawassee, Georgia. Tell folks who you are.
Well, I'm Miss Hilda Thomason. I'm the general manager of the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
But you could be the mayor.
I could be the mayor. I could be the county commissioner. I could be a whole lot of things.
That's right. But you have been at the Georgia Mountain Fair how many years?
44 years.
44 years, y'all. That is so crazy. Who's been on a job 44 years and still loving every minute of it?
Absolutely, and I do love it. It's
now,
a great place to work.
Did you start as a child? Were you a little child and they just brought you in
Yeah,
there?
I started when I was 25 years old. They needed
Wow.
a secretary there at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, and during that time was just the fair and the fall festival and a weekend in May for the spring festival. So, yeah, it's been a few years ago for sure.
A few years ago, yeah. And Hilda, let's look back at just the things that I remember, because I've been going there about 30 some odd years. And out of the 30 years, I can remember when Anderson Music Hall did not have air conditioning.
Right, we didn't have air conditioning for many years. We moved down there.
And I was sitting there being a witch, like, oh gosh, it's hot in here. And then Loretta Lynn stepped on stage and I was okay.
They've been some great entertainers come through there.
My gosh, you know, I think about it every single time you hear that so-and-so's passed, so-and-so's passed, so-and-so's passed. You had the Beach Boys last year. Brian Wilson died this year. You had Billy Joe Royal. He passed away. You had Merle Haggard. He passed away. When we look at the opportunity we have had as mountain folk to come and see these entertainers, you brought them to a venue that's actually beautiful in the country, and we don't have to fight Atlanta traffic.
That's for sure. And a lot of people talk about that venue that come and they live in the Atlanta area, and they say this is our favorite venue to come to.
Absolutely.
So there's not a bad seat in the building. You can see good from anywhere. It's easy to get to. The traffic's not bad. The parking's great. We do have hills because we're in the mountains. A few people complain about the hills, but I can't take those out.
Who would complain about these hills? Goodness gracious, they're so beautiful. The landscape, and because now I'm a huge Hamilton Garden fan, just because I realized that you can camp up there in my favorite spot, which is G5. Nobody else gets it. That is reserved. Nobody else will ever get that spot again, because I realize it's so quiet.
It is quiet.
It's so quiet.
It is,
so
and I'm
nice.
so glad that you came and experienced that,
It is,
Sherry.
It's amazing. I was there, I had to work, so I'm on my laptop, and I'm sitting in the RV looking out the window at the mountains on my laptop thinking, holy cow, this is a great life. People could leave Atlanta on Thursday, bring their laptop with them, work from the RV on a Friday, and enjoy a long weekend.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of people. We have this one couple. She works from home all the time, and they travel with their motorhome a lot. And of course, her husband's retired, but they stayed there for a month back in June and just loved it. And she said it's the most beautiful, peaceful, quiet place I've ever been. I think it makes you live longer to be able to experience all that.
I'm telling you. Well, one of the things that may stop me from living longer, we have discovered Bell Mountain.
Oh my.
And we're going to show some pictures now. We're going to show a variety of pictures that happen to do with the mountains. But Bell Mountain, I've never been there. But I've watched enough YouTube videos now to know I want to see that scene.
Yes, it's absolutely beautiful.
But Trey says it's a little terrifying going up there.
Well, it is. It's a narrow road, but it's all paved. You just have to be careful. And if you're from the mountains, it don't scare you like it does some people that don't know how to drive in the mountains, and especially going up to the top of Bell Mountain. But when you get up there, it's a 360-degree view. It's absolutely beautiful.
Stunning, stunning.
There's no place like it.
No, and he took these. Trace, was this in the fall or winter? Because there's not a whole lot of greenery. Was it? Do you remember what time of year? I think y'all had on.
This is November.
Yeah, November. So they had on jackets, and so it was cool. And look at the blue, and then look at the gray, and just the colors. You know, because that's just a November day in Georgia.
I've took lots of people up there, and a lot of my music artists, and there's tour managers and road managers, and they just love it. And I took Rex Parrish up there, and he filmed and went back the next day and filmed some more just to advertise and promote his car shows, just because of all the beauty there. And sometimes when you go up there, you see eagles too, and that's so pretty. And I've seen several eagles up there going taking people, but yeah, there's no place like that. And take a little picnic and sit there and just enjoy it.
Well, and you know, the weird thing about it is it's kind of it's a secret, but it's not a secret because a lot of people know about it. A lot of people go there, and they said it actually has a better view of some of the other spots that are
Well,
well known.
It does. I think it's got a prettier view than Brasstown Ball. I love Brasstown Ball, and I live close to Brasstown Ball, and you can see 3 or 4 states from up there, but the view here is just beautiful.
It's
it really
beautiful.
is.
It's beautiful. So we're going to encourage y'all, if you go to Hiwassee, to go to the fair, go early and do a daycation. Maybe go early in the morning, stop here in Ellijay and have breakfast at Mike's Restaurant on your way up. And a daycation, in Sherry's definition of my dictionary, is a daycation. You get up at 6 a.m., you pack all the stuff you want to take for the day, and you choose a beautiful spot where you can spend the day and come back about 9 o'clock at night. I like to sleep in my own bed. I'm weird. I'm just choir, as my granny'd say. I don't like change. But you can do 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and spend the day from Ellijay to Hiwassee and experience things that you don't even know exist.
Absolutely, and there's beautiful waterfalls there.
Yeah.
There's beautiful vineyards there. That's another thing, Sherry. When you come back, you need to go. We got 2 vineyards, our Hightower Creek vineyards, and we also have Crane Creek vineyards.
I
And
saw
even if
one
you
of their
don't drink
commercials.
wine, if you
Yeah.
just go out there, Crane Creek's now got a little coffee shop.
I saw that.
Oh, it's so nice and beautiful. I'm telling you, it's just gorgeous.
And let me tell you the best thing about Hiwassee. Ingalls had gas $2.59 from Hiwassee back to just north of Fannin County, and then it jumped up in price. So if you go up there with empty fuel tanks and fill up, because it was cheaper. It was 7 cents cheaper.
Well, that's a good deal.
That's right. That's
Always
right.
about saving money, right?
That's right. That's right. Let's talk about money, because in your 75 years of this event happening, millions and millions of dollars poured into the Georgia economy.
Absolutely. Everything we do goes back into helping our county and our surrounding counties, the whole Northeast Georgia area, because there is no industry there. And we do this to bring people in, to help the businesses and help the restaurants and the hotels and the county and the sales tax and the hotel and motel tax. People cannot imagine, unless you work in it day after day like I do, how much money it actually brings into our areas.
Sure.
So thankful that we've got it, because we're very blessed to have a venue like we've got to be able to do this, and
Right.
very thankful. So yes, it definitely helps all of us.
And you know, last year we were lucky enough that Lake Chattooga Marina hosted us and let Trace sit on their beautiful pontoon and eat greasy Colonel Sanders fried chicken. We had the best time. Eli Phillips took us out, and he gave us this tour. I had no idea that lake was 7,000 acres. That's a big lake.
It is a big lake. It covers Georgia and North Carolina, and it's a beautiful lake. It's all the little islands and everything, and it's just so pretty. But that is something people enjoy doing when they come and camp there, is fishing and skiing and enjoying the lake, swimming and doing whatever. But we have a beach there that's run by the Towns County Recreation Department that's straight across from the fairgrounds.
We went over and saw
They
that.
just
yeah.
put a new splash pad in there, and of course we got the pickleball right across from the fairgrounds. So there's plenty to do. There's children's playgrounds there, and every Thursday night we have entertainment. We had it last night down in Eller Holler. We had a full band down there, a rock band. We have food trucks and vendors set up, and it's a really fun place to go, and it's free. There's no charge for it. If you want to make a donation, that's great. It helps offset the cost of it. But we also do this up in Hamilton Gardens. We do the
Right.
spring and the fall at Hamilton Gardens with the music, and then do the Eller Holler during the summer. So not only on the weekends we have activities going on, but through the week as well. So.
Well, 15 years ago, Donovan Jones, who was my producer and worked for me since he was a 14-year-old kid who sadly went to be with Jesus, but he produced a special called In the Garden for me. And it was In the Garden is God's Tapestry. And we started with photos from Hamilton Gardens.
Oh, okay.
And it was crazy. I was watching it yesterday with one of our homeowners and showing them Hamilton Gardens. And I said, that is so weird, because I didn't realize then, now that I've walked that path and seen the path, it is so breathtakingly beautiful. Even in the dead of summer when it's hot and there aren't many things blooming, it's still beautiful.
Still beautiful, and
Yeah.
it's so peaceful up there walking along the lake and everything. It's just a beautiful place to be, and like you say, peaceful. And I'm so glad you came and experienced that, and I
It is
want
so
you to
cool.
come back.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't think you know about this video I put on YouTube. Now, I am country as grits today, but I used to be a little smart aleck city slicker. And I did not like the idea of camping at all. I wouldn't camp in a tent. I thought Holiday Inn was camping. I mean, I just, I wasn't much of a camper. But being at Hamilton Gardens and knowing that in the RV you have your own little restroom, it's your own little restroom. But if somebody might be in the restroom using it, at Hamilton Gardens, they have the cleanest bathrooms you've ever seen in your life. And I did a video of the bathrooms and put them on YouTube, and they got like this, tons of hits immediately. And they're like, why are you videoing a bathroom? I said, it's spotless clean. And so that was my bathroom while we were there.
Well, good. Well, it is a clean bathroom.
We have 2 bathrooms.
And my staff, Catherine, she makes sure the bathrooms are clean. And there's a lot of people use those restrooms.
Oh yeah, because they're the hikers. See,
yes.
That's what I was going to say. When we were there early in the morning, I was out taking pictures, and all these old geezers, I can say it because I'm one of them, I can say it. All these old geezers are walking up the steps, and then they walk the garden, and then they come back and go in the restroom.
Yes, they do.
Wash up, and and it was so cool because I went in there and I said, this place is spotless. This place is spotless. So I just got my phone out and I videoed it, and I said, if you come in Hamilton Gardens, look what you get to see.
Gave us some advertising on the bathrooms.
It's awesome. Everything y'all do is top notch. You could not do it without volunteers.
Absolutely.
Could not do it without volunteers.
We have a lot of volunteers, and Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds is a nonprofit organization. We're a 501c3, and we have a lot of volunteers that help us. We have a very small paid staff, but people just love it because they get to meet people, they get to socialize, and it gives them something to do whenever they have moved to Towns County or they live in Towns County and they're just looking for places to go and things to do. And plus they get to see the shows, in the music hall when they work. So it works out really good for everybody, and it's a great organization. So very thankful.
Well, on the special that we produced, one of the last interviews we showed was Aaron Tippin, and it was one of the very first interviews we did. And let me tell you, it was before we were taking the big ETC cameras up there. It was when I had this little Sony camera that I bought for $559, and it had the tripod and it had everything we needed. And so I was watching that interview, and I thought it was before high definition, it was before everything. But he was the nicest guy. And remember on stage how he would put a bucket out there to get money for the soldiers?
Yes.
And he goes to Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever there's war going on, every Thanksgiving. And just to get to see those artists up close and personal and learn that they're not all about themselves.
No, they're not. They care and they want to help, and they do great things. I mean, look what happened. Some of the artists like Jelly Roll gave $50 million for the flood in Texas, the victims, and I know Dolly Parton gave, and there's Chase Elliott gave. I mean, I just went on and on and on. I thought, what wonderful things they can do because they have the money to do it. So yes, there's not all about the money. They give back, and that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. And when I look at the people I've interviewed, okay, Percy Sledge had to be one of my favorite. That man had just flown in from Belgium. He was dead tired, and it was when we had the big RV, and Freddie parked it down at Ingles Grocery Store in Jasper. I had been on the air here, and I went down there, and Percy and Freddie were sitting on the RV waiting on me when I got there, and we did the interview. And after we did it, he looked at me and he said, ma'am, he said, I've been interviewed a lot in my 48 years, and he said, you did the best interview ever. He said, you knew about my music. And I said, Percy, I grew up with your music.
Absolutely.
I loved your music. And I think that's the difference in talking to an entertainer. If you love them, then it comes across that you really do love them.
Yes, that's very true. I agree with that totally. And Percy was a big hit for
Such
how
a
I
good
see.
guy.
Yeah,
Such a
I'm
good
so sorry he
guy.
passed. But
Yeah.
you know, we've had a lot of great entertainers there, and we got a lot of great ones coming. We got Lee Bryce coming up August the 8th. We're real excited about that.
I saw that was on the sign, and when you see the special that they've done, I think, Trace, can we do that song with the Mountain Life and show that, and you'll see what Trace put together this morning that shows the Lee Bryce thing, and so people will get to hear the song that was written about the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds and the mountain life, because the mountain life, if you haven't lived it, if you haven't just tasted a bit of it, you need to get in your car and go to Hiawassee.
Absolutely.
You need to get to cars. So let's show this, and then we'll be back in just a minute.
Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams cars and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, your feet propped up, and what the heck? You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. And we all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. It's alright, the mountain life. Load 'em up and head this way to the bright red Georgia clay. From Notley down to Carter's Lake, all the memories to make. So much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod Fords and crystal streams. Now you love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. We all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. And it's alright, the mountain life. It's alright, the mountain life. Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Free game to greater things. This is pre-retirement.
Smoky Mountain memories about my home in Tennessee. Memories keep calling me home.
It's the 75th Annual Georgia Mountain Fair, August 15th through the 23rd at the historic Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. Live entertainment, arts and crafts, food vendors, carnival rides, and more. Join us Thursday, August 14th for our 75th anniversary celebration with live entertainment, a fireworks show, and 75-cent carnival rides. Tickets available at the gate or call 706-896-4191. Visit GeorgiaMountainFairgrounds.com for ticket prices and concert schedule. Thanks to Towns County Convention and Visitors Bureau and all our generous sponsors.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
We're back. Okay, Miss Hilda, tell everybody what's going to happen. I'm excited about the church day when the inspiration is going to be there and preaching. That looks like my favorite day.
Well, the Georgia Mountain Fair, like I said earlier, is celebrating 75 years this year, and the fair will actually be August the 15th through the 23rd. And we do have some great entertainment coming up. I mean, every day and every night, it's just amazing what we have booked. On opening day, we have Herman Hermit starring Peter Noon. The fair will actually open at 11 o'clock that morning with all the arts and crafts in the Pioneer Village and the flower show. Hiwassee Garden Club does a beautiful flower show. It's a state judge flower show. And that's going to be on Friday, August the 15th. And the show will be that night at 7. And then on Saturday, August the 16th is our annual Georgia Mountain Fair Parade. And we will be featuring a lot of floats and all kinds of old cars, antique cars, horses, buggies. We got 2 bands that'll be marching, Blairsville Band and Union County and Towns County. And then Crowder will be there in concert that night. And we actually have sold all the tickets for Crowder. We're selling general admission now.
Wow, that is
so
crazy.
You can still buy the general admission, and then we'll sell outside standing room and let people come in and see the show. And then on Sunday, you said that's your favorite time?
Gospel Day. That is awesome.
We have church services that'll open at 11 o'clock that morning, and our pastor, or preacher that's going to be doing this interfaith worship service is Jim Dykes. He's out of Asheville, North Carolina, and that is Reagan Riddle's
father-in-law, isn't it?
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he has a big church there in Asheville. But the groups that'll be performing that day will be Carolina the Band, and the Triumph Quartet and the Inspirations. I know you like the Inspirations for sure. And then on Monday is the carnival will be open just that day, and that's a $2 day. You can ride all the rides for $2. And then on Tuesday, the carnival opens, and it's unlimited ride specials that day. You can buy an armband for $25. And the same thing on Wednesday, we'll have the unlimited rides. And then we start back up on Thursday with Gene Watson and the Bellamy Brothers.
Gene Watson is that voice that you never get tired of hearing.
No, you
never.
don't.
And he sounds as good today as he did when he was a kid.
He does sound good. He can still reach those high notes. And the
Yeah.
Bellamy Brothers are real cowboys, and they do an awesome job
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So come and see that show and buy your tickets in advance, because we are selling reserved seats for these shows, and a lot of them are selling really well, and that's one of them that's selling great. So be sure you come out and enjoy that. And then and you can come early. Come at 11 o'clock that morning when we open, and enjoy all the activities on the grounds. We got 2 or 3 stages set up on the grounds with live entertainment, and it's some regional talent, really, really good talent. And buy some crafts and eat that good food, and you got to have fair food. And go down to the Antique Farm Museum and the exhibit hall and check out all the activities down there. And then on Friday, August the 22nd, is Molly Tuttle and the Grascals. And this is a new group that we've never had before, and just absolutely awesome performer. So if you don't know Molly Tuttle, look her up. And I've had the Grascals there several times. They're going to actually open for us. It's some bluegrass Americana music. It's really, really good. Saturday, the last day of the fair, August the 23rd, we're going to have Lori Morgan and T. Graham Brown there. T. Graham will open for Lori. And the photography exhibit, too, that opens on Friday, and or actually opens on Thursday. Come and see that, and it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The flower show will go out, and the photography exhibit comes in.
Now, where is that? In the exhibit hall?
It's straight across from the exhibit hall. There's a building there. It's called the Flower Show Building. It's It's straight across from the exhibit hall, and the Hiawassee Garden Club does their flower show in there first with all, beautiful flowers, state judged. And then we come in with the photography exhibit, and we probably have 150 pictures in there.
Wow.
If you're into photography and you want to enter, call the Georgia Mountain Fair office and get an application. And
I was just thinking that you asked where that picture was made that we had on the screen. Well, Trace's dad took that.
Really?
And they travel a lot. And if you're traveling Georgia, if you're traveling Hiawassee, take you a good camera.
Oh, yes.
Because you can do award-winning photography
Absolutely.
by just being in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. But on August the 14th, the night before the fair opens, is our big celebration, 75th celebration party. And that starts at 7 o'clock. We're going to open the doors at 5:30. And people can come in and mingle and talk. And we've got all kinds of events planned for that. We got Bob Anderson. He's going to be our speaker. His dad was the one that was the president of the fair from 1960 up through 1983. So he's going to be speaking and on his behalf and telling a lot of good stories about the fair and a lot of history about the fair. We've interviewed probably 30 people. We're going to have that up on the big video screen, and we've actually interviewed some of the artists, and they're going to be up on the screen as well. We've got bringing back our former queens. We've got 18 queens that signed up to come back.
Wow.
We're going to be doing some fiddling on the stage. We've got a group that's going to come out and do a show there, and we got a band. It's called Gold Rush. That's going to be a live band. It'll be performing, and they'll actually start about 6 o'clock, and they'll perform up till almost 7 before we actually start the program. And then we got clogging teams coming. We're going to do some clogging. We used to have 125 teams that clogged there during our cloggers convention. So we're bringing back some of that as well, and it's just going to be a fun evening. We'll have cupcakes. We're going to have fireworks. Just a lot of things going on. We're going to unveil the new history book of the Georgia Mountain Fair. We've got that updated. That'll be available for sale as well. And just so much to offer for the celebration party. So don't miss out on it, and come and enjoy it and have a big time.
Let me ask you this, because I was thinking about the clogging and thinking about the other things. Do you have old video footage of all these things?
We do, and we're going to show some of that. We've been
That is
working on that.
awesome,
Actually, we
yeah.
worked on that again yesterday. I got a guy, Scott Newton, he used to own ETC, not ETC, Windstream, Channel 4, and he's got all this equipment. He films for NASCAR, and he does commercials for Delta, and he has some great equipment. So he's been working on that, and we have got a great video of showing some of that old stuff, and it's going to be really cool. It is going to be cool.
Yeah.
And then just hearing all the people that talk about what they experienced, when the fair first started. We got some people that we interviewed, and a lot of them talk about having Conway Twitty there as the first entertainer to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. So this band is going to come out and sing Hello Darling, and while we're showing all this video and all these artists and our celebrities and everything. So I just think that's going to be really cool. I shouldn't be telling all these secrets. You got to come and see it.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to see, because it's on Thursday night, right?
Yes, it's on Thursday night. The doors
I could sneak away, and I might could do that.
I wish you could. It's going
try.
The doors are opening at 5:30, and the event starts at 7. And we'll be done by we're going to shoot the fireworks at 9:30, just as soon as it gets dark, and they'll only last 15 or 20 minutes. But we'll be done by 10 o'clock easy. So you can still drive back if you have to.
Yeah, I would have to. So, yeah. Well, we look at it as a business, but it is a nonprofit that has benefited not just Towns County, it has benefited the state of Georgia.
It has really, Sherry.
And
really,
we talk
truly
about
has.
it. When people are coming up 75, many of them are headed to the Georgia Mountain Fair. When they're coming I-20 out of Alabama, many of them are headed to the Georgia Mountain Fair. When they're coming down 85 out of South Carolina, many of those, the destination is the Georgia Mountain Fair.
Yes, and just the other day, this guy called from Canada and bought tickets for the Daily Events Music Fest coming up in September. That's September the 25th, 26th, and 27th. They come from all over the world to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. Yeah. And actually, Daily Events is contacted me, their management has, and they're going to come to Hiawassee on August the 12th and 13th, and we're getting a pontoon boat and a captain from Dwayne Phillips there at Lake Chateau Marine. They want to go out, and they're bringing a camera crew. I've got to get 5 rooms for 2 nights.
That will be amazing.
And they're going out and film on the lake. They're going to film Bell Mountain, Brasstown Ball. They're going to put this on national TV, and we're already on national TV with a commercial on RFD TV. That's Daily Events' channel that they do their show on. and it shows a lot of the area, but they want to do more to promote that festival. So this is coming up August the 12th and 13th, and if you don't have tickets for that, you can buy a 3-day ticket. We've got Crystal Gale coming, John Conley, Diamond Rio. We got Randy Travis's More Life Tour. I don't know if you've seen any of that or not, but they bring Randy out on the stage. They have Randy's original band, and just James Dupree sings all of his hits. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, and Rhonda Vincent, Darren's sister, is going to be on the show. So come and see all that and just really spend the whole 3 days there. I mean, it's absolutely a great, great festival. And we'll have a lot of food trucks and vendors set up. And then we also, Labor Day weekend, we have the rodeo coming up, and that's going to be another fun time. Rodeos are huge in Hiawassee. I can't believe how many people come out too.
That's awesome.
And we got the Mimosa Festival that same weekend. This is a new event. We'll have 20 different flavors of mimosas, and we've got all kinds of music on the grounds, down on the stages, and vendors set up, and that's from 11 to 3, and then you can go to the rodeo that night. So come out and see that, and don't forget our laser show, July 26th. That's coming up real soon, and we did that last year for the first time, and we had over 3,000 people that attended the laser show. But we start like at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got True Youngblood and the Collins boys are going to be singing there on the stage in Eller Holler. Then we also have another band called Jukebox Country. That's going to be really a country band. It's great music. We'll have food vendors. We'll have all these games set up, and we got a foam pit, and we've got bouncy houses and slides and cornhole, all kinds of things for children to do, or adults or whoever. And then we'll do the laser show that night at dark on the ball fields.
You know, is the summer, didn't you change the time frame from the summer program? Didn't it used to be in June?
It used to be in July.
July,
yeah,
okay.
but
And you changed it to August.
Yeah, the reason we had to change it, and we didn't want to change it, but the carnival, we went with a new carnival, Amusements of America, and we had to work with their routing across the United States, and so it had to be in August in order to get this carnival, and we got a bigger carnival, more rides, and I heard that all the time from the people when we were trying to get a bigger carnival, and it worked out that we could do it, so we had to change it to August.
Right, yeah, I remembered it being a little bit earlier. I also remember it's hot in the summer, but you've got to come because there's always a shady spot. And let me tell you, the other day we left Ball Ground, it was 94 degrees. We get up to Hiawassee. The whole time we were there was this amazing breeze blowing.
Yeah.
It was hot as Hades everywhere in the world, and we're sitting there, and I wanted to go get a sweater. I was like, this breeze is so nice.
It is.
It was amazing. Is it because it comes off the lake?
Off of the lake has a lot to do with it, yes.
Wow,
There's always
it
a
was
breeze
so
off the
nice.
water. But I had this guy call me yesterday from Tampa, and he said, we want to get up there so bad. He said, it's so hot down here, even when you walk out early in the morning, you can't hardly breathe.
Yeah.
And he said up there, he said, it's not hot. People
The
say it's
air
hot,
is
but
different.
It is
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
It really is. But we got John Chris coming up. This is a comedian, Jokes for Humans. It'll be on September the 28th. That'll be the day after the daily events. It's on a Sunday. We have the Bob Seger tribute coming October the 4th. And of course, our fall festival's coming up, and that's going to be a pretty time of the year. So want to make sure that everybody gets out and
I heard that the Credence group was amazing.
oh my gosh,
They
Sherry,
said
they were.
they were amazing. I heard people who were there and said, you should have gone. I said, I know I should have.
Oh, our kind of music, you know.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
And they were so nice to work with. I mean, it was really, really a good show. And I'll probably have that show back.
And I bet people will say, will you bring them back?
Yes.
Yeah, for
oh,
sure.
yeah. I've already had that.
Yeah.
People that bought tickets and was
Yeah.
there that night was
Yeah.
asking me that night
Yeah,
to
bring
please
them
bring
back,
back.
bring 'em back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we plan to do that and have some other groups already booking for next year. And we've booked some new car shows next year. The F100 Super Nationals that's in Sevierville, Tennessee. The owner of that show was at our Hiawassee Rod Run, and he asked me to come down to his booth, said he wanted to talk to me. He's out of Spartanburg. And I went and visited with him, and he said, I want to do something here next year at this venue. He said, this is the most awesome venue. He said, and I've been all the way across the United States. But he said, all these nice shade trees down here, these nice booths to put your cars in, your trucks in. He said, you don't find this.
No.
He said, you're out in a field somewhere most
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah.
But anyway, he has booked the Fairgrounds for next year, and we're going to do a truck show there. I think it's April. It's the first weekend in April. I think it's April the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So this will be something new, and I know it will grow. These guys know what they're doing, and I'm just excited to be able to be a part of it.
I think that's the edge you have, because once somebody comes there, they plan another trip.
They do.
They plan another trip because they're not coming to Hiawassee to the North Georgia Fairgrounds one time. They're going to come back over and over and over.
They are, and a lot of times whenever I have these car shows or if I have the the beer festival or the wine festival or the mimosa festival or car shows, whatever I'm having going on, I try to tie in a concert that weekend as well in the Anderson Music Hall. So they go to the car shows all day or they go to the wine festival all day, and then that night they get to go out to dinner and then come to the Anderson Music Hall for a nice concert. So it makes a really fun weekend and something going on all the time. So they really love it. They really, truly do. And I'm glad to be a part of it and be able to entertain all those people and show them a good time.
This morning, Trace and I were talking about this when we did, and thank you again to the Phillips for Lake Chattooga Marina was amazing to give us this great driver. Eli's fantastic. We were out on the water and we just, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost a prescription for sanity because when you're on that water and you're just sitting there, the whole world goes away.
It does.
And you just feel a place of peace.
You do.
It was so amazing. But Trace said the one thing we did wrong, and it's the boys' fault, they didn't have the nerve to throw me in the lake.
Well, that would have been a lot of fun, real refreshing.
That would have been a video moment. But Tim brought the drone and got so many amazing shots of that. And then Eli shared photos with us. Lake Chattooga is a photo opportunity like no other.
It is. It truly is sharing.
It is beautiful because for everywhere you look, it has something a little different.
Right. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's people say, "Oh, the lake's really busy." It's not near as busy as some lakes, like Lake Lanier or some of those places.
Lake Lanier, I wouldn't go near it with
No,
a 10-foot pole.
It's just a great place to be, like you say, and find peace. And this day and time, we need to find peace, don't
Absolutely.
we?
Absolutely.
And relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But we also, in the fall of the year, we've got Chase Rice coming. He'll be there on October the 11th. That's going to be a new entertainer that we've never had before. Those tickets are on sale. And then Neil McCoy and Ronnie McDowell will be there. They're going to be there.
Now, is Ronnie okay?
He is okay. I have talked to the management.
I want to interview him. And I can't tell you, I owned the Iron Skillet restaurant where The King Is Gone was on the jukebox. And I can tell you the number and I can tell you how many times I played it over and over and over. When he did that song, nobody had done a tribute to Elvis like that ever. And when he did that, cold chills.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
well, Ronnie is very entertaining. He did have a stroke on stage, but it was a very mild stroke and nothing very serious. He has arteries that's been carotid, and they're going to go in there and clean those out. And it's coming up real soon if it hadn't already. I know his surgery's, but the doctor said he should be fine by the weekend, and he just have to stay in the hospital, I think, one night, and he'll go back out on the road touring. So they are planning to be in Hiawassee. So please come and see it and enjoy Neil McCoy. There's not a better entertainer anywhere than I know of Neil McCoy. He's so much fun and just gets out there on the stage and he really entertains the people. And then we have Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder coming. That's going to be October the 16th. This is during the Fall Festival. And the opening act is going to be Sister Sadie. Have you ever heard of Sisters? It's a bluegrass act. You need to look that up. It is absolutely, it's all female girls. I think they might even be sisters. I'm not for sure. I think they are. But it says Sister Sadie, and I think that's why I'm thinking that. But they are so good and so talented. So check them out, and they'll be there on October the 16th. Then we got Josh Turner coming back. He's been there several times, and he always sells out. He'll be there on October the 17th. Those tickets are on sale, so get your tickets and come out and see Josh Turner. He'll have his own opening act with him. The opening act is on the tour with him for the whole season, so check that out. And then Trace Atkins, we're bringing Trace back on October the 18th. And I know you've heard of this band, the opening act, Country River Band. Have you not heard of them?
No.
Okay, well, I thought maybe you had.
Yeah.
That's going to be Tim Thurman and Tom Thurman, and then they have other artists in the band as well, but they have been coming to Hiawassee for a long time. One of them works for Coke and has been with Coca-Cola for many, many years, was here in Jasper for a long time. That's why I thought you might know who that was. Okay, well, they're a great country band, and they'll be opening for Trace. And then we have the Appalachian Brew and Music Festival coming up October the 25th. And that brings in about 4,000 people. We'll have 75 different breweries there So come out and enjoy that, and there'll be entertainment on the grounds, there'll be vendors, all kinds of fun things to do during the day. And I'm trying to get a concert booked for that night, just having a really hard time getting somebody confirmed that I want to think that would sell tickets. Then we have the Rats, Rods, and Horsepower coming. That's on November the 7th and 8th. This is a car show that we brought there to the fairgrounds for the first time last year, and they're coming back. And that'll be a really fun event. And then we have the Marshall Tucker Band. That's going to be there November the 22nd. That's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. And then, of course, we start the Mountain Country Christmas and Lights opening up on Thanksgiving night, and that'll go through December the 24th. So.
Remember the year you started those Christmas lights, and I think everybody was like, I don't know if that's going to work. Well, it worked.
It has worked, and it's brought
it worked.
It's brought many, many thousands of people to the fairgrounds, and we keep trying to add to it all the time. Every year we keep trying to add. We got a new train last year, and we gave train rides, and we've used that train. We're going to have it in the parade. We'll have it the night of Halloween when we do the big Halloween event there at the fairgrounds, and we give train rides to the kids at the Christmas light show. Well, not just kids, but adults too, and people love it.
And honestly, when we talk about Hiwassee, I've talked to people who live in Hiwassee and who said this town was nothing.
Right, that's true.
This town was
and
nothing.
It would still not be anything if it wasn't for the George Mountain Fairgrounds.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, there was no reason to be there. There weren't even jobs available.
No.
And now it's like you can create a business around tourists.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
And so when people complain, and we hear it all the time here in Ellijay, because the Apple Festival comes in for a few weeks, and everybody says, oh, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. Think about the money that these small businesses that struggle during the year. If there's not something going on like the Georgia Mountain Fair or the Apple Festival or even the Marble Festival in Jasper, tourists bring in money, but they also often become your friends because they end up being your neighbors. They love this place.
There's been lots of real estate sold because of the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
Yes.
People come there to see the fair or come there to see one of our events, and they fall in love with the place. Well, then they start looking for real estate, and that I could tell that story over and over, all the homes that's been bought there. And another thing they can do is when they do find property and they buy, they bring their campers and stay in the campground while they're building their houses.
Well, this is crazy. We went up and stayed 2 days in heaven. I'll just say it was heaven. And I come back to work, and these 2 ladies walk in my office, and one of them's been in before, and we visited before, and then she has another lady with her, and we're just walking, and I'm showing them the house and talking. And I said, where do you live now? And she said, well, we used to be neighbors, and it was down in a neighborhood in Cherokee County. But she said, I moved away a few years ago. And I said, where did you move to? Hiwassee.
Oh, really?
Hiwassee. And I said, I just left Hiwassee. And it was
How about that?
And she said, we live on Lake Chattooga. And I said, lucky you.
Yes, isn't that the
lucky
truth?
You, yeah.
Very, very blessed to live there, because the property's not cheap. I mean,
No,
it's expensive. But it is so pretty there.
Beautiful.
It really,
Beautiful.
truly is,
Yeah.
yes. I love it.
Now let's talk about things like Bell Mountain, other things, hiking. There are a lot of hikers who follow places that offer hiking trails. Do people actually hike Bell Mountain, or do they just go there for the views?
Well,
it looks very dangerous to me.
They do go mostly for the views, but there are some hiking that people, like to hike, and they put their backpacks on and they do hike up there, and it's very steep going up. I'm telling you, it is very steep. But when you get up there, there's no view like it. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. But there's lots of places there to hike. Of course, we're real close to the Appalachian Trail there.
Right.
And that's the big trail that everybody hikes when they're really serious about hiking. But there's lots of waterfalls there. We have High Show Falls there. Brasstown Ball, it's a beautiful hike. I've hiked up to Brasstown Ball, and it is straight up too, and you're out of breath when you get to the top. But it's like a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter of hiking up there. But I would go early in the morning right now if you're going to do it, because it gets hot. Even at top of Brasstown Ball, it gets hot. But it's so pretty when you get up there. And if you like to hike and want to do those kind of things, just come to the Chance County Chamber of Commerce there in Hiwassee. They have all kinds of information on hiking trails and activities and shopping and anything you want to do. We've got it going on there. There's plenty to do. There really are. You won't get bored in Hiwassee, I promise you that.
Now let's tell folks, if they have a family of 4, what's it going to cost them to come to the Hiwassee, to the North Georgia Mountain Fair?
Well,
what's it going to cost?
The 12 and under is free for the Georgia Mountain Fair.
So your children 12 and under free?
Yeah, and if you want to come just to, I'm talking about the fair and the fall festival. If you want to come just to the arts and crafts and everything, it's $7 and under 12 free. But if you want to go to the music, we sell reserved seats on all these shows, so each one's a different price. It depends on how much the entertainer costs. But you just call and get your seats reserved, and if they're not all sold at the gate, you can buy at the gate as you go in. But you can come for $7, and like I said, under 12 free. I don't know where you could go anywhere for $7.
You can't.
I mean, it's just not out there. And plus, we have free parking. So.
And then you've got those special days with the bands for the people to ride the rides.
Yes, if you want to ride the rides, there's all kinds of specials. We have our brochures. You can get it off of our website at GeorgiaMountainFairgrounds.com. And if you want us to mail you brochures, just call the Georgia Mountain Fair office.
Or you can pick one up at our office because I'm taking some back.
Yes,
with
I
me
got a
today.
stack here for you to take back. So
I'm taking
yes,
some back. So if you have questions about it, and I got to brag a little bit about Ball Ground because Ball Ground, we always estimate the numbers that come to see us on fireworks, and we do the fireworks Saturday before the 4th of July. So we got to see your fireworks and Ball Ground's fireworks. Ball Ground entertained 12,000 people that day.
Oh, wow.
They do it by the pings on your phone, and that's how they know our numbers. And 12,000 people. Now, that doesn't count children. And when you said children, that reminded me because it's 12,000 adults who usually have cell phones. Some kids will have a cell phone. But that's 12,000 people who came to a little tiny town of Ball Ground that was vacant buildings, no businesses, nowhere to eat for years and years and years.
Right.
And then somebody took notice to us, and we started to blossom. Well, it's the same thing with Towns County.
Right.
Y'all were just sitting there, and then the fair happened, and then people took notice. And that's all it takes to bring good dollars to your tiny towns.
Absolutely, that's for sure. Yes, well, that's great to hear that number. That's wonderful. That's a good, huge crowd for Ball Ground.
Because we were nothing but empty buildings. We were nothing.
Right.
I mean, there was nothing going on in Ball Ground for years.
Well, that whole area, Canton and Woodstock and all that, has grown so much.
It's grown. But now people tickle you to death. They say, we've got to get out of here and get to the mountains. So they leave Ball Ground, they're going to Hiawassee.
I know that, that's for sure. The traffic in Hiawassee is like nonstop all the time. I mean, used to you didn't have any issue, and we still don't have huge issues, but the traffic flow is much more than what it used to be.
Well, your downtown area, we came through when we came, because we came the back roads, and I told everybody, go on YouTube, you can see. My choice was, do not get on 515. Get me to Hiawassee, but do it on the back roads. And that's exactly what we did. It was beautiful.
And peaceful, too, wasn't it? I mean, really.
And what's the community you live in?
I live up on the Hiawassee River, going up 75, like going toward Helen,
right
off of Owl Creek Road. It's right under Brasstown Ball is where I live at.
We came through there.
Yeah, right off of 180, probably. Yeah.
And there's a little place that has an intersection, and it's a weird name. It kind of reminded me of an Indian name, and they had a campground over there. And I said, remember that name? Well, I didn't remember the name. I don't remember it. But we just took a left turn there and just winded. And I started videoing. We went like 10 minutes and 16 seconds and only met 2 cars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how cool is that?
Right.
How cool is that?
That don't happen very often in very many places, does it?
No. But get out and get to know the back roads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, when I go south, I usually go the back roads if I can. I love doing that. I just think it's great to be able to get off the beaten path.
Now, can we talk a little bit? I forgot about this, but Hamilton Gardens, I noticed when we were walking the path the other day, they have benches in memory of.
Right.
How do you get involved in that?
We've done that for many, many years there on for the gardens. We needed benches for people to sit on, and like when people would pass away that wanted to be, the families wanted to remember them because they love the gardens so much, or they just wanted to buy a bench and put it in the garden. So we did that, and now we've got a lot of benches, and we do other projects besides the benches now in the gardens. But if you still want to do a bench, we can put it out on in the fairgrounds itself, inside the fenced in area where we have the arts and crafts and all that. I've got one ordered right now for some people. But yes, absolutely, come and see us, and we'll get the information from you, and you pay for it, and we order it for you, and it's a way to remember somebody. You know, it really is. So.
And 1 year, I think it's probably been about 10 or 12 years ago, I interviewed some people behind Anderson Music Hall who said this is our 36th year to be here every summer.
Is that right?
And
36
years. How cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah. They said it's the destination that we look forward to the most.
Yes, that's a good story there. And people do, they bring their families. The first fair was in 1950, and they bring their families, and then it goes on down to the children and the grandchildren, and generation after generation keeps returning and bringing their families, you know.
Okay, now I've got to ask you this, because I had somebody really, really disappointed that he went back to a place that he grew up for the 100th anniversary of their local fair. They had no memorabilia. Are you going to have some memorabilia with this name on it?
Absolutely, I am. You
What
better believe
can
it.
people buy?
We had a meeting yesterday, and I got a great committee helping organize this 75th anniversary. We'll have our T-shirts, we'll have hoodies, long sleeve tees. It'll have our logo on it, and this is our logo.
I love that you put the guitar on there.
Is that
That's
not
awesome.
neat? I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
My hand's in the way, I guess,
Yeah.
but this is our logo, and it'll be on a lot of things there at the fairgrounds. And come and enjoy it. Get your cupcake. It's on everything we're doing. We got banners throughout the fairgrounds. We're decorating that place up on putting banners on the power poles and all, and got a big banner stretched across the road with this. We'll have some cups with this on it, souvenir cups you can buy. Coca-Cola's doing a commemorative Coke bottle for us.
Oh,
This will
awesome.
be
That
on-
is so cool.
And we'll have it wrapped.
Yeah.
There'll be 200 Coke bottles. They're doing that for us for free. Our 75th anniversary. So
Now,
come,
how do we get one of those?
you have to come to the party.
I'm coming. All right.
And the first 200 people that come through the door that want a Coke bottle, they can get it.
Okay.
And so we're doing a cup, like I said, a souvenir cup. You can purchase that and get drinks at the music hall. There'll be, like I said, shirts and all kinds of things that'll have the 75th anniversary on it. So yes,
That's so important.
That's a big deal, 75 years.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to your employees. I know a few that have been with you a long, long time.
Yes, I've had some there that's been there. I've been there 44 years, and I've had some that's been there 25 years, 28 years, and then I've got some new ones that I've brought some new blood in, and they just love it too. When they come and work there, they just don't want to go any other place. So.
I watched them the day we were filming the special up there. I watched the people on the phones and their interaction, and it was like, "Hey, y'all, welcome to these mountains."
Yes.
It really was pleasant to see that they were happy to help people.
Oh
and
yeah.
They were,
Really good staff, and that's one thing I always said when I first started working there. I'm never going to have a telephone that answers with an automated voice on it. As long as I'm there, we're going to pick that phone up, and we're going to answer it. We're going to give directions. We're going to give instructions. We're going to give information out. Whatever they ask, we're going to be there to serve them. That's really important.
Oh, I love that.
And we've got a fair, I didn't mention this earlier, but we've got a fair that called me the other day from Lumberton, North Carolina, and they are renting a motor coach and they're coming to visit some fairs in Tennessee. They're going to visit one in North Georgia, and then North Carolina, and then they're coming on to Hiwassee to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. There's 25 people on that motor coach, and they say every 2 years they rent a motor coach and go across the country visiting different fairs. It's their board of directors from that fair and a lot of their volunteers and their staff. So we're going to entertain them there on the fairgrounds on August the 22nd, and then they'll spend the night over in Helen, Georgia. But I think that's wonderful. They want to come and visit your fair, you know. And we've done that a lot. Our Georgia Mountain Fair board of directors over the years have not got to do as much as I wanted to, but we've went and visited the Florida State Fair, and we went to the Strawberry Festival. But you learn from all those other fairs too, you know. So that's a great thing to do, is go out and visit other fairs. And
sadly, one of the things that you have to do is negotiate contracts that often you can't meet their price.
Right, I can't.
Because some people are pricing themselves out of the smaller venues.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are. I just went to see Chris Stapleton last week over in Greenville, South Carolina, in the big Coliseum over there. And he's like $3 million now. You can't afford that kind
That's
of.
crazy.
But they seat like 50,000 people too,
Right,
you know. So
right.
we seat 2,900, so that makes a
Yeah,
big difference.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I love our little venue. I just
Yeah,
think it's great.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the price of the artists, especially after COVID, it's unbelievable what they're costing now. Unbelievable. And we want to get them, but we just can't afford them, you know.
Right, right.
And we try to keep our ticket prices down as low as we can because, you know, we want to be fair to everybody, but the ticket prices in Hiwassee is a lot cheaper than they are in some other venues.
Wasn't Loretta's last concert there about $65,000?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
yes.
$65,000. And probably the first time she came there, it was $1,500.
Yeah,
you know,
that's how
I mean,
much it's going
seriously,
up.
Yeah.
And that's what we paid Conway Twitty the first time he came was $1,500. And then I'm paying Trace Atkins. He's going to be there in October. I'm paying him $100,000. I've got Lee Bryce coming. I'm paying him $85,000. There's no cheap acts out there anymore.
No.
And when they write the contract, it's all about in favor of them. It's definitely not in favor of the venue. I can tell you that.
Right.
So when it goes into percentages, they're going to get 85% of that. And then the venue gets what's left, 15%. So it's definitely a hard business to be in, but a really fun business and entertaining.
And I love watching you as you say, okay, I'm going after this one, I'm going after this one, you really go after some of the best.
I do.
To bring to
I want to have the
Hiwassee.
very best music that we can
Yep.
possibly have for people to enjoy. I really do try to get good music.
And the cool thing is, people will, like when you had the Beach Boys, it was more entertaining to me to see people my age just out there dancing.
Yes. Well, you just wait till Saturday night. This Saturday night we got the A1A Jimmy Buffett concert. The Hiawassee Downtown Development's putting that on as a fundraiser for the Parish Center, and they're going to be all dressed up in their outfits, and we sold 35 tables down in front of the stage, and we're selling general mission out in the audience, but they'll be up dancing and having fun and just it'll be a blast.
That's what it's about.
It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've talked a little bit about Lake Chatuge Marina. We've talked about the lake. We've talked about the many, many things you can do and enjoy for such great prices, but we never talked about, is there ever going to be a day that Hilda will say, I'm going to retire? We've been doing this together 20 years.
Yes.
And when we think about it, it's like it started yesterday. Do you ever think about retirement?
Well, I do think about that some, but I'm still enjoying my job, and I feel like I've still got a lot of life left in me, and I just enjoy it, and I love people, and I don't really want to retire right now. Now, I'm going to be 70 years old, July 27th, and I'm going to California for my birthday.
Cool.
I'm going to wine country and enjoy all that, and be back in time for Lee Bryce.
There you go.
I'm only going to get to take off a few days, but yes, I do love my job. And when I get to the point that I don't feel like I can perform and do what I need to do, then I'll say, Hilda, you need to go home. But I feel like that I've been a real asset to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, and we've accomplished a lot in the 44 years that I've been there. And I still enjoy it, so I want to do it as long as I can.
You know, and you have taken it to levels that nobody ever thought about.
Right.
You know, when it started in a tent, and now it is.
I went to the fair when I was a little girl. I'm from Hiawassee, and I grew up there, and that was the only thing happening there in Hiawassee. And we always went to the fair and saved our money all year long to be able to go ride those rides. And I graduated from that old high school there where the fair was at in downtown Hiawassee. So it's been a joy to be there and work and meet all the people I've met and have fun while you're doing it.
And make a difference in so many lives. So
yes.
If you have not been, I'm going to tell you, do it. And if you haven't seen our special, the guys, when we videoed, went to Pioneer Village. We just had a good time. And what was the guy's name that showed us around?
Randy.
Randy. He was so nice. And so sit down and watch it. It's a little over an hour and a half. And it just takes you all the way through, from the music, from the entertainment. The one thing we didn't capture, because we did it off season, we didn't get to smell the food. And I really missed that, because we wanted to make the video smell like food, and we couldn't do it. But we captured so much of the Georgia Mountain Fair, and it's capturing a part of your history and your life, because if your folks grew up in these mountains, there were moonshiners, they were farmers, they were, you know, people who might have had a sawmill. There's so many things that you learn, a blacksmith shop,
yes.
all those things your children will get to see
yes.
at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds.
And our backdrop for the 75th anniversary, we're building that on the stage. We're going to have some of the people demonstrating some of the quilting and the blacksmithing and all that stuff. I just think that's going to add to the show so much. It's going to be beautiful. It really is. You're going to have to move to Hiawassee so you can come to all these events.
I'm ready. Actually, it's an hour and 32 minutes from home, so it's okay. I can do that. I can do that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for what you've done for the state of Georgia, because it's not just about Towns County. Honestly, every single community that we serve benefits from people coming to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds and enjoying time with their family. We've enjoyed this time with you, but time flies when you're having fun. We're going to leave you now where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet. We'll see you again soon.